Since his days on the campaign trail, President Biden vowed a dramatic reordering of U.S. foreign policy from his predecessor. Thanks for joining us tonight. I am Aaron Nolan.
And I'm Rutabaga Shabazi. In his first 100 days, the president has begun living up to his campaign promises by working to rebuild coalitions with allies, particularly when it comes to dealing with China. But he's also demonstrating a shift away from the idealism he displayed on the campaign trail.
America is back. America is back. Diplomacy is back at the center of our foreign policy.
For President Biden, one of the first priorities has been a return to multilateralism and mending frayed relationships with allies after 4 years of President Trump's America First doctrine.
We will repair our alliances and engage with the world once again, not to meet yesterday's challenges, but today's and tomorrow's challenges.
It may not be so easy. After years of President Trump's threats to withdraw from NATO and then pulling the U.S. out of the 2015 Iran nuclear deal, some allies feel a shift.
I think there's a real question of the stability or the predictability of American foreign policy. We've seen dramatic swings from one administration to another. And if you're European partners, how do you know for sure we're not going to see another dramatic swing in 4 or 8 years?
The new administration is trying to get Iran back to the nuclear negotiating table. Without the 2015 deal and the inspections it required, Iran has intensified its uranium enrichment, edging closer to weapons-grade levels.
Joe Biden is determined to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. Second, he believes that hard-headed, clear-eyed diplomacy is the best way to do that.
The president has held firm against Iran's demand to lift sanctions before negotiations can resume.
As president, I'll make you a promise. I'll protect America. I will defend us from every attack, seen and unseen, always, without exception, every time.
The administration has imposed sanctions on Russia after U.S. intelligence concluded Moscow was behind the massive SolarWinds cyber attack on American businesses and military systems and interfered in the 2020 election, as well as the poisoning and imprisonment of opposition leader Alexei Navalny. Also sanctioned Saudi Arabia after Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman was directly linked to the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. President Biden also ended U.S. support for the 5-year military offensive in Yemen. Still, the sanctions didn't target those leaders directly.
For the Saudi Arabian case, the Biden administration used limited sanctions to send a signal that they wanted to recalibrate, but they weren't looking for a complete rupture. In the case of Russia, I think they wanted to send a signal to the Putin administration that they could do more, and this was a first step.
In dealing with China, the president had promised to take a radically different approach than his predecessor. But so far, he's held on to Trump-imposed tariffs on Chinese goods and hopes to convince allies to help stem Beijing's growing economic clout.
We've never had a relationship like this where we were so economically intertwined, the two most powerful countries in the world, and yet with completely different values. So, this is bedeviling American presidents who, quite frankly, thought that we were going to have a different type of relationship with China because we were bringing it into the global economy.
I've concluded that it's time to end America's longest war. It's time for American troops to come home.
In perhaps the most significant foreign policy decision of his presidency so far, President Biden announced he will withdraw all remaining troops from the, quote, forever war in Afghanistan by September 11th, the 20-year anniversary of the start of the war.